Today's topic is division strategies with area models. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to calculate the quotient of a division equation by using mental math to divide a 3-digit dividend into equal groups with remainders. You'll know you have it when you can evaluate an equation and determine the correct quotient. Vocabulary for this topic, we will need to know what a divisor is, which is the number of which another number is being divided. Dividend, which is the number that is being divided. Quotient is the answer to a division equation, and remainder is the leftover amount that cannot be put into those equal groups. When dividing using an area model, we're going to start out with a division equation and 3 rectangles. The first step is to write the divisor on the left of the box. Right here, so I'm going to take the divisor, which is the number I'm dividing by, and put it on the left of the box. Think, what number can I multiply the divisor by to get the total dividend without going over? So that means, what can I multiply this by to get close to the dividend? In this example, we know a friendly number 5 times 100 is going to give me 500. I'm going to take that 500 and I'm going to subtract it from the original dividend. That's going to give me whatever is left over. I'm going to move that leftover to the next box and think again. Well, what number can I multiply by 5 to get close to that leftover amount? I know that 5 times 50 gives me 250. If I subtract 250 from 256, that gives me 6 left over. I will move that 6 into my next box and think, okay, what times 5 gets me close to 6? I know 5 times 1 is 5, and that gives me a remainder of 1. My remainder is going to be smaller than the divisor. Once I have a number smaller than the divisor, I know I can't multiply to get it anymore. I'm going to go ahead and stop. I will leave my remainder and move on to step 3. Step 3 is to add the numbers on the top of the box with the remainder to get our quotient. So I know I multiplied 5 times 100. I know I multiplied 5 times 50, and I multiplied 5 times 1. So I'm going to add that 100 to that 50 to that 1, and I end up with 151. The quotient is going to be 151 with whatever that remainder is. I will write my answer with the quotient first and then the remainder at the end. 151 R1 is going to be the answer to my problem. So let's look at an example here and do one together. I have my 3 rectangles drawn, and I'm going to take my divisor, which is 8, and I'm going to draw it onto the left of my boxes. Now I got to think, what out of my math facts, what can I multiply by 8 to get close to 582? Well, I know that 8 times 6 is 48. So if I multiply 8 times 60, I'm going to get 480, which is a pretty friendly number. So I'm then going to take my 582 and subtract 480. That's going to leave me with 102. All right, so looking at my math facts again, what number is close, or what can I multiply by 8 to get close to 102? Well, I know that 8 times 10 gives me 80, which is pretty close to 102. So I'm going to do 8, put my 10 up there, take 102 minus 80, and that's going to leave me with 22. Now, knowing my math facts, what can I multiply 8 by to get 22? Well, without going over, well, I know 8 times 2 is 16. So subtract. Sorry, I'm writing numbers. So I know 8 times 2 is 16. So I'm going to take my 22 minus 16. That's going to leave me with 6. My remainder is now lower than my divisor. So my next step is to add everything up at the top. I know my remainder is 6, so I can't multiply anything by 8 to get 6. So that's going to leave my remainder at the end. I'm going to take 60 plus 10 and plus 2. So 60 plus 10 is 70, plus 2 is 72. My quotient is 72, remainder 6. When I think about this with multiplication facts and friendly numbers, I can break it down step by step in order to get the quotient that I will need. Go ahead and continue on for more practice problems on this topic.